Good day, viewers. You are welcome to another edition of Education's Corner, program that brings you information, very important information about education. And this morning we'll be talking about an important topic. It talks about parenting and the teacher's input. And today I have a guest with me in person of Mrs. Abiodun Alabi. He will be talking about impact education system has had on our children today. Good morning, madam. Um, Thanks for coming to. Viewers, starting by telling us few, the few information I'm able to gather here. She's a STEM information certified, she's an IT personnel, and I know she has a lot in her CVs that she would like to discuss with us.
Well, good morning to you. Abiodun Alabi by birth. I'm Mrs. Abiodun Alabi Ozogo. Um, like you have earlier said, I'm a British graduate from the University of Wales. I'm also um, graduate of Informatics Singapore. I majored in Information Systems Management. Well, because of my working experience abroad, I worked in the freight forwarding and shipping line, and basically we managed the information of receiving and collating money, processing money to be able to meet the demands of mobilization of vehicles, clearance at the shipping port, payment of insurance. That's an aspect of technology where you don't have to go to customs office. I never went to their customs office. I did everything on my desk. I weighed my letters in my office. I went to the post office, dropped everything in the post box, and sent my letters out. And before you know, Monday to Friday, letters coming with your checks. They post checks coming by post, and you get all your checks in, get into the data system. Of course, your Excel will start where you collate your data of money value, and then the process of technology there is of course the person, the system, and the computer itself. And of course, it made work easy, made things efficient, and we're able to get our work done faster. That was a very good experience for me as a Nigerian, because I was the first female Nigerian to have been opportuned, I've been able to take on that particular job, Asia, Singapore. Back to Nigeria, I've been back to square one, typical Nigerian, struggling Nigerian child. But I think that it's been a very great privilege to be back home, better than being dead, better than dragging for papers to leave your country for 3 months, 2 months, for a year. Nobody's sending me out of Lagos State because I don't have permanent residence or working permit. So I think it's a very good thing. In other countries, people prefer to be in America. Other Nigerian citizens prefer to be in America, in Australia, in Thailand, in Malaysia. Yes, because you can hide and live in obscurity and still making some little incomes at the roots. So they prefer that cold weather, that 247 electricity, that cheap Mr. Biggs and McDonald's. They prefer it. Yes, we prefer it. But when God gives you the opportunity of not starting as a nobody. Even when I started my first job abroad, I was earning $800, and I was teaching at a Montessori school where I was teaching 18 months old to 2 years old babies, and they were only paying me $800. By the law of that nation, they cannot pay me nothing less than at least 1,800. And they brought themselves to order and said, "Listen, your working paper will soon expire. So why don't we give you an opportunity, look for a better job? Thank you very much. That's how I said it. And after my working pass expired, I made efforts to see if I could become permanent resident because they hadn't given an offer for citizenship. No. My father was a high commissioner there, and during his term, I was a student. After he left, I had to keep up with the struggle of being an African child. I was in Nigeria for that. So basically, that's been my journey so far. Uh, well, I'm here today, and it's a pleasure to be.
Thank you very much. And like I said earlier, the topic before me here is parenting. Parenting aspects of the child and the input of the teachers. And the question I'll be asking you are questions relating to how the parents bring up the child at home. Likewise, what of the teachers why they get to school. And to start with, what is the purpose of school, or what is the purpose of schooling?
Thank you very much. The first core purpose of a school is that a school is an instrument of change approved by the government of the society, of any society, to aid, is to help, and correct abnormalities in the society. These abnormalities could be within the family. These abnormalities could also be as a result of external influences. But we mustn't forget that we have other agents of change that government has approved to impact society. We have the churches, we have the mosques, and we have the hospitals. And of course, other organizations that we call the non-government organizations. So, the NGOs. So please, it's important to note that the school is a place of learning. But as much as it is a place of learning, it is the first instrument to which government has shown its presence of interest. And that is a very good thing. But the problem I think we are facing is that the exclusion of government model schools is a current challenge in most of our communities here I think even in Kotu here. Yes. So, however, private schools have become a threat, so to say, to families and even to societal values. Because when we had the option of sending our children to public-owned primary or secondary schools or even universities, you find out that you still can compare. At least you can teach your child that all hands are not equal. But when you take your child to a private school, within the private school themselves, they are competing. There's rivalry. So how do you teach your children? How do you teach those children whose parents' hands are actually not equal to understand that you are where your father wants you to be? When the activities that is taking place in a very rich man's school, a school that is fully and financially maintained, and then your school is poorly maintained, and you want to compete with the proprietors of the school, you want to compete with the principal of the school, or the principal or the headmistress of the school. How do you expect the children in your own school to be modeled in proper character? It's very difficult. And that's why we need government to balance the presence of the private and the public schools in every community.
And the next question, talking about sex, are the sex schools, are they outdated? Like when you have the just
I never went to I never went to a single school. But when you ask whether single sex schools, whether they are outdated, I think they are not outdated. In some countries in Nigeria, we still have them in Ondo State, we still have them in Lagos, and FGG's federal government schools are still majorly single schools, single sex schools. We have some special science schools that are single boys schools. So basically, they're in few states of Nigeria, and of course, they are not outdated. But the truth is, many parents have not have not seen, probably they've not seen much impact that these single sex schools have made on the lives of their children. I grew and went to a mixed school, and it was a government school, which was at Abuja, government secondary school, we'll say. And one of the things that I saw was that we all had the same kind of punishment. We all had the same kind of textbook. We all had the option of being either a science or social science or an art student. So it wasn't because you were a male or a female. Once you passed, you were promoted. So, but you see, I think also that the problem we're having today is, where is the issue of help man coming from? You find out that people at the forefront of help man are people who went strictly to single-sex schools. We went to mixed schools, where the male, you came late, the female came late, you suffered the same punishment. You did well, you were both promoted. So why was the help woman, help man? Today, Nigeria leaders are clamoring help man to female children who probably went to mixed schools and competed with their male counterparts and served the same punishment with their male counterparts. And you are asking female children who went to mixed schools to come and be helping man, because man is probably not as educated, or man is educated but he doesn't have the X factor to get that job, and you think that you should take the women out of the way.
I mean, coming there, you as a person, would you advise or want your children?
Well, I think left to me, I will still follow my father's footsteps, where he took me to a mixed school. And of course, from there, we knew exactly what right from wrong was. We didn't predict that it could be right or wrong. You knew of the truth that what biology was saying was the same thing your father meant. So, of course, it was easy to understand. For those who maybe also, I think that we should observe our children. I wouldn't know what character trait will make a father send his child to a single-sex school. But if there are character traits that trained psychologists have been able to prove that some children are better off trained single-sex schools, I think they should let the society know, so that can help parents make the right choices for their property.
The next question, is there a place for religion?
Well, I'll say there should be, yes. There should be. I went to a government secondary school, and we had, in the morning when we had our assembly every day, so a Christian student will come out, and a Muslim student will come out after the national anthem. And then, of course, we'll sing hymns, and our hymnal books even in secondary school, and we'll sing songs of SOS and songs of songs, and then of course the Christian student will pray, and the Muslim student will pray. That's what we know. In Lagos here, in Kotunia, I've also discovered that they bring imams to school to pray the prayers for our children. It's wrong. If your Muslim students cannot represent their religion, then it's nobody's fault. Our children should be taught that if you are a Muslim, you must know how to pray with your Quran. And the Christian child should be taught that if you are a Christian, you must know how to pray with the name of Jesus Christ and with portions from the Bible. You shouldn't bring a pastor to start praying for our children without our consent. It's not done. Government didn't do that to us in our time. Even if anybody was going to pray, there was a higher authority, it would be a teacher. But not bringing an imam from outside to come and start impacting our children, I think it's totally wrong. For now, I think that's all I can say. We also have religious knowledge subjects, CRK and IRK. I think these subjects are still present in schools, and government of Nigeria should still keep it up.
Moving ahead to the next question. How do we help our students or our children to discover their passion?
Well, children, the minds of children are very, very frail and very flexible. A child's passion could be developed through the parents, habits of the parents. If a child observes my mom likes singing, she goes to school and she likes to play an instrument. Because if my mom can sing and she can play the tambourine or she can play the keyboard, the child goes with this just gradually. You just see she gradually or he gradually starts having interest. And before you know it, she wants to learn how to play the flute, she wants to learn how to play the keyboard. So these are little ways of helping a child to pick up passion. Be an example. A child who observes, my father loves reading, but maybe she doesn't like reading. I love sports. I love to be an athlete. I love to play soccer. She loves to mingle. It could be a social skill. It could be a social skill. A child who will finish his house chores and say, "Oh, mommy, I want to go and play." As long as he has finished his, have you done your homework? And she says yes. It could be a social skill. And then before you know it, they become your ambassador wherever they are. But when you are dealing with a child who is reserved, you find out a child who is reserved. No, mommy, I don't want to go outside and play. May not take to sports, outdoor games. Might be will end up becoming an academician, a sound lawyer. So these things are not obviously clear, but also you must know that some of these things too are not just observed; they are also harnessed. And sometimes you need good money, able to expose your children to an enabling environment where their potentials are better.
Viewers, you are still on your program, Education's Corner, and I still have here with me Mrs. Alabi Abiodun. Mrs. Alabi, moving to the next question. Looking at our children these days, when they leave the doors of their house or the doors of their parents' abode, head to school, and you find out that when they come back, they're seeing different traits that you never brought them up with. So where do you think these differences is coming from?
Well, I wasn't. I'll speak for myself because I wasn't a problematic child. My father is a retired ambassador, a disciplinarian to the core. Cannot misbehave. Ambassador Judges Alabi, that's my father. And you cannot misbehave in his house as a child. You wake up in the morning and you have to sweep. You have to wash the dishes. If you didn't wash your dishes in the night, you wake up in the morning and wash your dishes. And so that lifestyle, you fell below and he takes you to school every morning. He wakes up every morning. You make sure you get dressed for school. He waits for you. You have breakfast, and you go to school. I was a child that went to school with food. But when I returned from school, I would sit in my dad's office, and at lunch, when he's having his lunch, he will ask whether we were up to eat for lunch. And if we said we were interested, he offered us lunch. We had said we've gone to mommy's office. Okay, because my mom and my dad happened to have worked together in the same organization. So if we have gone to her office before we came to his office, we're sure that we bought that for lunch. So, our character of not greedy, it also helped our character trait in the sense that we didn't become greedy people. We're not greedy. And because we were not greedy, we were always satisfied with what our parents had. We saw where he worked. We saw the struggles he went through to be in the office every day without us coming to school. And so, as a result of that, we also learned to keep the kind of friends that will make our parents comfortable. If we wanted to go and play, we would go and meet our friends and go and play. We still knew some of their houses before it was time for him to enter his vehicle and go home. So we did the same thing. The only thing is that we'll say, Daddy, when are you going home? Daddy says, I'm going home at 6:30. We'll go and play, do our homeworks in his office. We'll go and play till 6:30 and we'll come. So we lived like every other child. We lived with what we had. It was the father we had. It was what he could make available for us. Our presence made him happy. And of course, because our presence made him happy, we also had to understand that that was just the kind of best environment we could have. Any child today that thinks at primary school, secondary school level, you have a better option. Who gave you that? Who gave you that thought? Where is it from? If you knew where your father worked and you sat with your father after school, would you not probably not even tell your dad, Daddy, please, I don't want to eat dinner? That's the thing. But because many children don't even know where their parents work. Many children don't even know their mothers are cleaners in the office. Many parents are not proud of their jobs. They want to be what they did not work for. And therefore their children begin to have split personality. The children begin to become very uncomfortable with the options the father has given to them. And if those children begin to have such reaction, the father comes home and he's dealing with his wife as if I'm the richest man. And the children are in school and they see a rich man that brings his wife and his children to school, and they see the way he talks to his wife as a gentleman. They become children who have opinions. They begin to have, but my father behaves like this, and he cannot afford many things that I have, that I need. This is my friend in school. Maybe they're friends. They go to the house, they see the way there's everything. The freezer, fridge, there's everything, there's plenty juice, there's plenty. And the children begin to have, came to this type of school. And maybe their mom is not even at home. Or they just see the mom and dad. Oh, honey, they just say, oh, how are you? How are you? How are you? How's your daddy? How's your mommy? Oh, give your friend biscuit and juice. And your child is always going there because there's biscuit and juice. Or she's going there because she sees the way the father and the mother are always relating. And she thinks, this is a very good family. Really good families. But you don't know how they get the money. You don't know how they sustain their family. That's why children should be properly guided. We are not saying that we cannot relate with one another. But we are saying that for proper future, our children should know that we are what we are. We are what we prepared for. Many of our parents today are jobless. Many women today don't have offices to sit and render services to society. But our children should know whether we are in the office or we are at home, we are a product of the life.
The parents should be more open.
Yes, to a large extent. Be very open to your children and be very practical. Very practical. And of course, your child is a product of you. Your child is a product of you. It is a bastard that will tell his father that this is not my mother. So fathers have to avoid situations where you create an environment where a child will tell you, "You're not my father." So if you are not an indisciplined person, you are not an abusive parent, the child won't do that. If she doesn't see you abuse her mother, she doesn't see the mother abuse the father, the child will not have a second opinion to the values, the core values that the parents have laid down. Their parents, my father, we just, when we see my dad, we say, my father is a big man. He sent us to a government service. He didn't send us to Regina Passes, Loyola Jesuit. He had friends who their children went to Loyola Jesuit, Regina Passes, very big Catholic schools with big names and big school fees to pay. We went to very simple schools, and we are as good as what they are. Yeah. Core is that we took the value of their character, which our schools enforced. No late coming. When you are late, you're punished. Today you go to the office, you are late, nobody punished. You can come in at 11 o'clock, you at 12 o'clock if you like. Your guy, if you took permission, in school you couldn't take permission. Not to come to school on Thursday. You can't take permission. That your parents particularly wrote a letter to request that I'm taking this child for a certain reason on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. My child will return on Monday. School approved because the parent. Today, we're all taking authority, the law into our hands.
That doesn't help me.
It happens. It doesn't happen. Parents just leave, take their children, and it's not helping. It's not helping. I hope that this can be.
Still moving ahead, the next question. What are the essential learning impact on the students? Essential learnings.
Well, I'm not a teacher, but one of the core of into school, good education is all inclusive, but it's not where you train. The sole duty of training a child belongs to the mother. Like I will give an instance. I remembered when I was young, I was in an international school, and when I asked permission to go to the toilet, I will go and walk on we had a very high basement. I will walk from the high basement almost, I take 30 minutes. Instead of taking the staircase and going on a path, I will climb the basement, and the plane I will walk on is on the wall. It was used to design. It was like a bridge. They built it like a bridge. So I will walk on the edge of the bridge, on top of the bridge. I'll be walking. I'll be walking like that, tiptoeing, going to school. The school does not say anything. When school is over, they'll give you a letter. But your class teacher will say, Miss Alabi, could you come and see us at the admin office? We have a letter for your father. And so they give me the letter, and I take it home. And I say, you mean you went to school today? And you were walking on the plane? What's up if you fell? Now, they returned my output of that day's activity. He sent it by letter to my father. My father will say, so you went to school, what up if you fell? And then you used 30 minutes of your day walking on the fence of the school. Oh dear. You would have expected your class teacher would say, oh, Miss Alabi, you shouldn't have done. She won't say a word. She'll just say to you, why did you spend so much time in the bathroom? Well, that's all you could say. She just asked that question, but they already saw you. And so they write a letter, they have been writing a letter to your father. Your father reacts. She didn't say she saw me. My class teacher didn't say she saw me. Yes, she didn't tell you she saw you. But the training that you shouldn't stand on the wall of the school to go to toilet. This should be done by your father. And if he's going to flog you to make sure you don't do that again, he would. Otherwise, the day my dad came to school, my dad said, "Stop writing letters to me. Just I said, sir, that's your job, sir." One day I asked my mom to come to school, and my mom came to school, and my mom said that they preferred that my dad should come along. So my dad came with Koboko. He said, "No, sir. We understand. Just for you to, you're taking time from my job." And then we all got the message. Because gradually started learning. That was
Okay, I'm still moving ahead. Next question. What extent should parents develop a relationship?
Well, thank you very much. I think first and foremost there should be between the school and parents. Parents have been tuned to have their families and interact enough schools through their children's academic performance. I don't think that a very good parent would want to have much interaction with the schools other than either the child through the child's performance or the child's misconduct or even payments of school or health of a child. Thereby, school administrators should keep the credibility and the integrity of their schools by making sure that they are not a problem to many families. I've also observed a situation where proprietresses of schools have easy access to telephone to people's husbands. It doesn't show proper decorum. What you do, call the wife of the person, or send a letter. It's always the most properly schooled environment. We send a letter. Please note that the child was injured. This child, blah blah blah. Well, there, sir.
So the relationship specified.
Yes, the letter should write letter because you could also be dealing with a parent, a child who both mother and father are working, and they may not have time to be picking their calls. Whether you are calling their husbands or you are calling their wives, you could also be a man who is stalking a female who is somebody's mother or somebody's wife. If you're stalking the woman, you are also disturbing the marriage. So it's advisable that whether you are a male teacher or you are a female teacher, please write a letter saying this is our observation of your daughter. Write a letter, please, a reminder for school fees. Write a letter, your child's health. Always write a letter, communicate, and register it in a note. Letter was sent to so day, super. Don't call them. Stop calling our wives. Stop calling our husbands. You are a school approved by government to serve, not to be trading marriages. It's an insult. If I'm a full-time wife in my home, peradventure, and I don't want to interact with your school, other than to ensure that my child passes exams and to come out with good character, is that not enough respect for? Sorry, excuse me. Is that not enough respect for the institution? It's a respect for government, and it's a respect for the institution called the school. Outside that, there should be no relation. We also have mediums like the Parent Teachers Association. Nowadays, it's even principals and proprietors of schools are avoiding it because the moral level of decency is appalling. So appalling that I think it's high time they hear it clear and clear. They are not there because they have the money to open the schools. They are there because, number one, they have the interest to serve humanity. And government gave them the approval to make their presence felt. And because your presence is approved by government, because government is entrusting that when they communicate values to you, you will also pass down the values to the children. You are not there to train our children. You are there to teach them. Of course, if you observe that you can warn them from stealing, go ahead. You cannot warn twice, write a letter, communicate in writing, and the parents will respond accordingly.
Viewers, we are still on your program, Education Scholar, and I'm still with my guest here, Mrs. Ozola. And viewers at home, in case you have any suggestion or you have any advert placement of your company, you can go to our website www.levenant.com. Moving ahead, bringing up a child starts from home, then from home, from the school, the larger society. So what do you think is the role of the government in all of this?
Well, government has done the best they can do so far. Government of Nigeria has been going through a lot of ups and downs, shakings. Of course, we know that our administrative tenure for government is under some years of restriction, that they cannot exclude 3 or 4 years now, and therefore government should focus on what government can. Government is just about being a nuisance in society because I belong to this political party, belong to that political party, and because of our differing opinions, it's not an issue. You're not there to argue with other politicians on their political values. You are there to establish a society that will eventually become a community that will translate into a social community in the long run. Now, when you talk about being a community, these are a group of people who live in the society and they break from being single-eyed to being a family. Not because they. Now, when we talk about being a family and a community, that's lending a help. You don't talk about people's problem. Find a way to help. Have a knowledge. Oh, you heard somebody's mother is a businessman or is a businesswoman. Find out that, excuse me, ma, I heard you're into this business. Oh, I have a market where you can buy items. I can take you there. You don't say, oh, man's product is very expensive. And because you feel it's expensive. Because the woman may not even know there's a cheaper market. Or she has been looking for the market. Somebody just out of goodwill walks up to you and say, oh, I heard you have a product. And actually, the price on the market is within the range for you to be able to sell competitively. You might try get into this. I think that's one of the things we should aid. Nigerians should be knowledgeable enough to know that government is not static. And because society is static, the government is. So as a result of that, we should be wise and we should be people that are ready to learn. We are not following the government of Nigeria. Not. We need to know where they want feedbacks to go to. We need to have representative offices where we can lay complaints, where we can ask for our problems to be solved. If we don't have such environments, if government does not give us such medium, are we going to kill ourselves because they didn't give us the medium? No. We have to still work as a people because we voted them into office. And because we voted them into office, that means were we blind when we voted them into office? Were we under an illusion that they would just come? You didn't even see his profile? Or because you think he's a member of one political party, he will just come in and just change your life overnight? It doesn't work that way. And if Nigerians don't wake up, know that government comes and goes, but they will always remain. They will keep making the wrong choice. Government making a ridicule.
Um, do you think the advent of technology eroded the good values we had it?
Well, thank you very much. Technology is an advanced mechanism of getting things done easier or better. Now, the core of technology is, I will just focus on three areas today. And number one is a system. Number two, people. And number three, hardwares or electronic hardwares or electronic softwares. Now, what is a system? A system is a group of interrelated parts working together to achieve a goal. When technology is in play, technology too is, haven't we gone from the archaic voting system to more sophisticated voting system? We've gone through, that's another aspect of technology. We've improved. We now have, maybe a time will come where we'll even be scanning our voter's card and everybody will just go home. Machines will just come during the period. And what if you scanned your voter's card one day and you voted APC, PDP, you did the option of APC, and just APC. And then probably you wanted to put it again in PDP and it says you voted already. Or you see APC machine, PDP, and Labour Party, and you vote. And then under that APC, now go to PDP to vote for local government council because you voted for a governor. Then you now go to councillor level, you now vote maybe Labour Party. Fine. There are three because you have your choice. They're all in different parties. So that is a system. That is a system of like using INEC. But INEC is modifying its process of having more peaceful elections. You have more police officers now, well trained, coming out with bulletproofs. Before they used to come like ordinary men and nobody regards them or respects them. But now when you see a police officer at the forefront of INEC, you give them core respect. You also have NYC now involved. They're now involved in the election processes. So these are our systems. When you bring youths to get involved in the election processes, you bring the police. The police is an arm of the system of Nigeria. INEC is an arm of the system of Nigeria. The NYC, which represents the youth who are educated, are an arm of the system of government. So you find out that even medical doctors are even on standby. NEMA is even on standby during some elections. So you find out these are systems already in play. NEMA is a system, NYC is a system, the police is a system. We are all working together to achieve a successful goal, and that is to make sure we have a fair, free, non-injury, violent election processes. So that is one of the core. We must have established systems that can make life easy for every Nigerian. Now, people. Now, a deformed mind is a deformed society. A reformed mind is a reformed society. You cannot run away from it. When people have substandard knowledge of a matter, you want to have full knowledge of nutrition. Have proper knowledge of nutrition. You want to have full knowledge of health. Have proper knowledge of health. You want to have full knowledge of government. Have proper knowledge of government. Don't have a deformed mind. Because when you are deformed, you are a deformed personality in society. You cannot run away from it. You cannot give out what you don't have. You can only pretend to be like the person who went to Ajibule all his life and he's going about singing like Stephen Wonders. Why are you not like Majek Fashek? Why are you not like Lucky Dube? That's singing their Raskimono beats and all that. Some of them grew up from the outskirts of nowhere and they're stuck at the glory of, they did not run away from their past. They stuck to the glory of their past. They out of their nothingness. They worked out something good about their past. If somebody like Fela and the late Fela Adekunle Kuti, it wasn't that he was a son of an illiterate. He was a highly educated. His father was a very influential Nigerian, but he chose the path of that kind of lifestyle. And he used his level of intelligence to sell his music. He was not speaking like an illiterate. He only took to music and some element of rascality to be able to pass his message across. And I think in the long run, people who took to his music will still tell you that he's still one of the most sensible musicians that Nigeria has ever produced. And the world at large. So let us be very truthful to ourselves. You cannot underrepresent our society forever. Some of us are tired of living in a society that's underrepresented by deformed minds. And I think it's high time that the government of Nigeria needs to understand that nobody is beyond being educated. And we mean taking to formal and modern education. Number 3, reason why technology is very important and technology should be worked for is that technology is not an instrument for corruption. The reason I talked about a deformed mind is that you can never give up what you don't have. Give up what you don't. The government of Nigeria must note that this is the greatest asset they have. Technology is their greatest asset. So what should they do with technology? They should concentrate on human capacity building, which involves providing amenities, housing, correction homes. Some of our Nigerians are so deformed to be kept in correction homes, not necessarily prisons. Not going to prisons, not going to the police station to get arrested. They need to go to correction homes. When they're corrected, 1 week, 2 months, and they come back home. They see psychologists, they correct them, they teach them, and then they come back home and start being. And even you can even change their living environment. When this person is being, you say, no, sir, you cannot live in this environment. Okay, bring half of your housing. Government will give you half. Then you move to a proper location as recommended government. So the government can help people to be settled in better community. That's also an aspect of technology, which is still dealing with people. Now, the third aspect of technology that is very important is the use of hardware devices or electronic devices, not just computers, telephones, etc. You can't give honesty when you are dishonest. Your computer is an agent of retrieving information or releasing information. The question here is can technology be compromised upon? Yes, technology can be compromised. What is the remedy? Number 1, encourage use of passwords. Avoid sharing of user address. Stop using Tosin's address when you are digging. Anything could have happened before you left. Tosin could have left pornographic sites before you left, and then Oga came into the website, administration came and checked and discovered that Tunde and Ade used Tosin's website user address, either on the data on the intranet or on the computer itself, and then they discover that you are into some corrupt practices. So these things have to change. Stop sharing your ID number. Stop sharing mobile phones in the offices. Stop sharing email addresses. I may decide to send a message for Tunde because Tosin is in the capacity. You haven't seen email sent out for Tosin, and it was sent by JD or it was sent by Ade. So you need to correct this. Thirdly, validate your user in compliance to security standards. For example, NCC. NCC has security standards and it should be followed when it comes to.
Viewers will be going for a very short commercial break. Right back. You are welcome back from the very short break. And it is still your program, Education Corner, and I still have my guest here, Zogo. And to the last question of the day, what is your advice, parents, school administrators, and the government on the issue of parenting?
Um, very much. Parents, you must remember that you produce after your kind, and you as a parent, you are a product of many years of struggle. You're a product of many years of probably suffering, hunger, and could also be a product of plenty. You grew up in a very influential family, and you've had everything, or the opposite. Um, Just understand that be patient with your children. You produce after your kind, and because you produce after your kind, you have to take life one step at a time. And cover that in the end, make the best of life with children. Well, for schools who are pushing for a better change, spend hours, 5, 6 hours with our children every day of the week. Um, Friday, sometimes even weekends. We are also saying we appreciate the effort you're making to complement the home upbringing we have for our children. And we want to also say to our those schools that we parents are not the entire solution to your problem as a school. You are providing a kind of education probably the value of your money can afford. And it is better that you relate very close to the government, that government can know that you need financial aid, that you will not be a nuisance to families who are struggling and are insisting on families who are even rich, are insisting this is where. Because if this can be identified and can be worked out, our society better. Now for um, government has an agenda um, for they came into office, but don't forget that Nigeria, um, nation that many of its citizens um, are not so proud, or will not say that are also not sure. They've not had leaders recent times where they can say, I'm sure what my government can do. Government not there anymore. And so government should be very watchful and be very mindful that whatever you sow, surely reap. The Nigerians may not be able to take you into accountability because you are government. But if it is, the Nigeria can bring you to accountability. Nigerians can bring you to accountability. Please remember that what you sow, here to serve Nigeria. Please remember that education is a very key instrument. Change has come to society. The parents don't need to interfere with the lives of their children in school. Teachers don't need to interfere with the jobs of our husbands or wives. Husbands don't need to go and discuss their wives at the schools because they are desperate. It's strange. And we hope that it's never been done before in the history of this nation. That all these things correct.
You have added on viewers. Thanks, Mr. Abiodun, time on the show. Viewers, this is here we draw the curtain on today's edition of Corner. And if you have any complaint or you want to place an advert, you can log on to our website www.educationcorner.com Revenant 4. We will come your way again next week. This is your host, Oluwafemi.